So let's wait for 5 more minutes and then we can start the meeting.
Sure, no problem.
We can start, sir.
So shall we start?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys. So let me share my screen. So as you know, this is going to be the demo session for SCCM, and from next week onwards, we are going to start our regular classes. So it is going to be a weekend batch, right? And timing would be from 11 a.m. IST, and on weekends the classes would be for 2 hours, right? And before we start, right, we need to understand that what is SCCM, why it is being used in the organization, what is the use of this tool, right? So first of all, this is widely used in the organizations to manage the end devices. So what are end devices? Your client machines, your Windows 10, your Windows 11 laptops and all. So in order to manage those things, in order to deploy, application, in order to deploy patches, right? So SCCM is being used in the organization, right? Along with SCCM, we are going to cover Intunes also end to end, right? So it is going to be a combo batch under which we will discuss about and the configuration of SCCM and the configuration of Intunes also from very scratch. So this is one and same thing. I will let you know what is the difference between SCCM and Intunes, because the companies are using both. Companies are using both SCCM and Intunes in their environment. All right. So we will understand that why it is being used, how to, how to manage both the devices, both the tools basically under a single platform, that is basically called as cloud attach, under which we can attach our Intuos environment in the SCCM console itself, right? So we will understand it. First of all, SCCM. Yes, nowadays it is called as MECM, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. Earlier it was called as Software Center Configuration Manager, but still, like in market, if even if you will search for the job, you can type SCCM jobs and you will be able to get it, right? So as such, there is no difference. It's just the name got changed, but the functionality, the features, that are the same. All right. So in order to build a SCCM site, or in order to build a SCCM infra, we will be needing at least 3 servers initially. Later on, we can have many. Later on, we can have a secondary site also, and then central administration site also. But in order to start with the configuration, we have to configure one primary site. We have to configure one domain controller, and we have to configure one database server, where actually your SCCM server, your primary site server, is going to store its database. All right, so let's understand it with the help of diagram. So as I told, we have to configure 3 servers. One, second, and this would be third. This is going to be your domain controller, from where your SCCM server is going to collect the data. Data in the sense, the systems who are going to be the part of your domain. Right? So how SCCM server will be able to fetch the computers which are available in your domain controller? So that is why we have to make the connectivity. Right? We will make the connectivity, and we will configure the discover method, so that it is going to discover all the systems in your domain environment. So the thing is, the mandatory thing here is, system should be the part of your domain, then only it will be able to identify, then only you will be able to manage it, then only you will be able to install anything onto that system. All right, so this one is DC, domain controller, right? And this server is going to be your primary site server. So basically there are multiple sites, like primary site, secondary site, and then central administration sites. Let me show you. See, so primary site is mandatory, and then central and this is primary. Yeah, this is primary and this is secondary. Yeah, so primary sites are mandatory. Central and secondary sites, these are optional. It totally depends on the devices you have in the environment. Okay, so if you're going to configure central administration site CAS, then in that case you are going to you can connect multiple primary sites with the CAS, and then you will be able to manage the primary sites from the central administration site itself. Same way, if you are going to configure secondary site, then these sites can be managed through primary site itself, because secondary sites are going to be below your primary site. You can take one example. Let's say primary site is in US. This is your US office, but this company is available worldwide, right? It is available in India, then Australia, New Zealand, multiple countries. Your company is available. The branch offices are available. In that case, what you can do, you can deploy all the things from primary site to the central administration site, to the secondary sites. Means you are going to have all thing in the primary site, Either it would be operating system or it would be applications and all. So from your primary site, you are going to deploy that applications to secondary site, and then the devices which are going to be connected with the secondary site, means it might possible in India there are multiple devices, so from there from where they are going to pick up the policy. All right, so in that case they will pick the policy from secondary site, and then secondary site from where this site will pick up the policy from the primary site. So secondary and central, it is optional, but primary site you have to configure every time. It is mandatory to configure. Okay, so there is basically a difference. In case of primary site, one central administration site can manage 30 primary sites. Here you can see 2, right? Likewise, we can have 30 primary sites under a central administration site. Okay, and then this primary site can manage 1,50,000 devices, more than 1,50,000 devices, your laptops, your servers. All right, and then secondary site, it can manage 15,000 devices, right? So primary site, let's say is in US. So in US, if let's say there are 1,50,000 devices, it will be able to manage. We will be able to deploy the application. We will be able to deploy the operating system. We will be able to do the software inventory, hardware inventory, software metering, multiple things. What and all features are available in SCCM, we will be able to do it, right? And for other locations, I can configure secondary site. So under secondary site, there could be 15,000 devices can be added. It will be able to manage around 15,000 devices. All right. So as I told, primary site is mandatory, right? So for example, this is going to be my primary site server. And this third one is going to be the database server, where actually your primary site server is going to build its database. So these 3 servers are always mandatory to configure in order to build a first primary site, right? And we are going to see the configuration from very scratch, right? Because see, in the company, whenever you're going to join the organization and you are going to work as a SCCM administrator, at that time you are at that time their environment is already configured. You have to just manage it. But how that environment is configured from scratch, so that thing we will going to learn in our classes. That if let's say you got a project that you have to work on a creation of a primary site, then how you will be able to build it. So we are going to take that scenario and we are going to build it from very scratch, and we will learn that what and all prerequisites are there in order to build this primary site, right? How to make the connectivity, how to get the information from the domain controller, how to create the group policies, everything. Even you can give the delegate control also to your primary site. So let's say you have an admin account, you have a administrator privileges on this primary site, and you want other users also have some access to your primary site. That is also possible. We can give the rights to other users also. Okay, that is called delegate control. We can give that. Now we are going to have the primary site. Now this laptops or devices, computers. So as you know, nowadays we used to have Windows 11 devices on our devices on our laptops, right? So let's say this device is already configured with Windows 10, right? And you want to upgrade it to Windows 11 without having laptop in front of you. Like earlier, you used to get the laptop, right? Then you have to uh, then you have to upload the ISO, right? And then you used to upgrade your operating system. But now with SCCM, Nothing. It is not needed, right? You can deploy it from your primary site itself. You can deploy the upgrade, and then automatically, whenever you are going to define the schedule, based on that, this laptop will be upgraded to Windows 11. Yeah, downtime will be needed, exactly, obviously, right? You can deploy it from your end, and then user has to just click on install, and it will get automatically installed. It will get automatically upgraded onto the user's laptop. So this can be done through SCCM. Same way, if you need to install the operating system on bare metal, like you have a blank system and you want to install our operating system onto it, that is also possible. We can do it through primary site, and we can deploy the Windows operating system on these laptops where actually nothing, where actually no operating system is there. If you remember, we used to do it in WDS, Windows Deployment Services, right? But this time, this is the upgraded version. Under this, we are going to get multiple options, right? That during the installation, there would be there could be some common software should get installed automatically. So that also we can define in our deployment, that whenever you are going to deploy the operating system onto a laptop, at that time itself, some of the softwares should get automatically installed onto these laptops. So that is also possible through SCCM console. You need to deploy some softwares. Let's say your user wants the Adobe package, Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, right? No need to take this system on remote. Yeah, we have the option of remote control as well. From your primary site server, or let's say from your laptops, you will be able to connect your user's machine also. That feature is also available. Okay, but for now we are talking about the software deployment, right? If a user wants the Adobe package, then in that case we can deploy it from the primary site server, and it will be available onto the laptop of the user. So there are two options. Either you can install it forcefully. Forcefully means it will automatically get installed, or you can install it through available mode. So in that case, it would be available in the software center of the computer. So this is basically agent and server communication, guys. Right? If you want that these laptops should report to your primary site server, in that case, you need to install agent also, configuration manager agent also onto this device. And that task also we can automate it, so that as soon as if this system is going to be the part of my domain, so automatically that agent should get installed onto this laptop, and then these laptop will start reporting to my primary site server. Right? You can take example of multiple things like agent. We have multiple agent and server based communication available, right? Either it is a McAfee, right? So if you want to manage McAfee, then in that case you have to install McAfee agent onto the laptop, and then only it will start reporting to your McAfee console. Same way, we have Qualys tool, under which Qualys agent should be there into the laptop, then only it will start reporting to the Qualys console. Okay, so this is also a agent and server based communication. As soon as this agent is going to be installed, automatically it will start reporting to your primary site server. And once the agent will install, you will be able to see software center application in the laptop. Even if you are working in the organization, and in your laptop, in your company's laptop, you are able to see software center, then it means your company is on SCCM. Right? If you are able to see company portal in your laptops or in your mobile phones, then in that case your company is using Intunes. Right? So for Intunes also, it is Intune is also a server and client based communication. So Intune company portal should be there into the laptop, then only it will start reporting to your SCCM, to your Intune console. All right. So we can deploy it either in the available mode or in the forcefully mode. So forcefully mode will install at that time itself. but the available mode, user can go to the software center and user can click on install, and then he will be able to install that software into the laptop. Right? You want to check the hardware inventory of this laptop, that how much RAM is there, how much hard disk is there, right? What is the vendor, either it is HP or Dell, right? You want to see the processor, everything you can track under your SCCM. You can prepare a report. Let's say your management wants the report that they want to see how much uh, how much space is available in your C drive or D drive. In that case, we can write down a query on our database server, and then it will collect the information from all the laptops. It will check the C drive of all the laptops, and it will collect the free space available in all these laptops. Same way, you want to see that how many softwares are installed onto these laptops and what and all softwares are installed. That also can be tracked. That also can be deployed, and that's also can be you can write down a query and you can get the result of that particular query. Okay, this is just an example. We have multiple labs. Even I'll show you now. So as I told, this is the site 2211, but now the latest version is 2303, I believe. Yes, 2303 is the latest version, or I think 2311 it is. Let me check. Yeah, 2303, and later on it can be uploaded to it can be upgraded to 2309. All right. So we are going to build the latest version available on the Microsoft website, and we are going to work with the evaluation version under which we are going to get the license for 6 months, so that we will be able to you know check all the things available in SCCM, right? So you can check it from your end also, and what all topics I will cover, so that also will help you out. Then what is primary site? Okay, how to build a primary site, what is central site, what is secondary site, this we will understand first. And then how data flows replicates in a hierarchy. If let's say you are making a secondary site, in that case how the data uh, is going to be available for your secondary site from the primary site. So how does it work, how the flows work, this we will understand. Even we will see practically also, we are going to build a secondary site as well. So over there also I will let you know how it is going to work, right? This is module 1, under which we will see the console, that how console looks like, what and all options are there. All right. Then you have deployment, primary site deployment. So how this deployment can be done, how you will be able to install the later version of primary site. So in that case, you have to build these 3 servers. So we are going to make these 3 servers, right? And then we will make our primary site, and then we will do our testing on the client machine, whether whatever things we want to deploy, either it is getting installed or not. All right. Then you have module 3, under which we will discover the devices. As I told, that how the primary site will be able to fetch the data from your domain controller, that how many computers are there, how many users are there, everything, how you will be able to get the information of all those objects. All right. So in that case, we have to configure forest discovery, group discovery, discovery, users discovery, and all. Right. Then you can create the boundaries also. Boundaries you can create based on the IPs you have in the environment, or even based on Active Directory also you can create the boundary. But we are going to use subnet based boundary, IP based boundary, so that if you have defined your boundary as, for example, you made a boundary 192.168.1.102, 192.168.1.200, then whatever the devices are going to be in this boundary, right, it should start reporting to primary site server. Even let's say you have one device in your primary site, or even it is a part of your domain, but it has the IP of 192.168.1.201. It will not report to the console, guys, because you have defined a boundary so that the devices which are going to be within this boundary, they will only report. Apart from that, others will not going to report. Okay, so how to make this boundary? We will see in the module 3, and we have multiple things here. You can give the role-based administrator, as I told, that you want to give the access to other users also, that they will be having the same control, or they will be having the delegated control, that the users only will be able to like deploy the operating system from primary site server. So we can give that type of access as well. Okay. Then you have managing configuration manager client. This is what I told, guys. If client is not going to be there, we will not be able to deploy anything. Client should be there. Configuration manager client should be there. And we will do the automation automatically, that if the system will going to be the part of a domain, automatically that agent should get installed onto the devices. So once it is going to have client, then only we will be able to deploy, and then only the applications and operating systems and all those things which we can do in SCCM is going to be available for that particular device. Right? Then you have managing inventory and software metering. You can see how many devices are there in your organization. You will be able to track them. Right? Inside those devices, what and all configurations are there? RAM, processor, hard disk, right? Any external desktop is connected or not? Any USB is connected or not? Any external keyboard is connected or not? All those things can be tracked using inventory and using hardware inventory method. Then you have software metering. You want to check that there is a software, let's say users, you have installed a licensed software onto a user's laptop. You can take the example of Photoshop, right? So you want to check for how long that particular user is using that Photoshop. That can also be tracked using software metering option. All right. This is module 5. Then we have module 6, under which we will see how to write down the query in your database server. Okay, as I told, you want to check on 1,000 systems. You want to check that how much space is available in your C drive. You can write down a query in your database server, and you will be able to get the report. Likewise, there are multiple things can be done using queries. So based on our requirement, we can make our query and we will run it across our environment. Right? Then module 7, managing software deployment by using application and package model. The major thing, guys. How we will be able to deploy the softwares. So we can deploy the software using application and using package model. So there are two types. We will see how it can be done. Right? You can deploy the MSI packages. You can deploy the .exe packages. Both packages can be deployed using this software deployment option. Right? At any point of time, you want to uninstall it. You want to upgrade the existing version of software. Right? So that also can be done through SCCM itself. And every time we can monitor what and all operations we are going to perform, we can monitor that whether it is going on or not. So there would be a monitoring tab. Under that we will be able to see that what is going on, if you deployed something, so whether it is getting deployed or not. So this monitor is going to help you out in order to troubleshoot that if there is something wrong with the installation and all right. Then you have software updates, again the major thing, patching. So you all aware of that Microsoft used to release their patches on second Tuesday, right? So if you want to deploy the latest updates from Microsoft, that it can be done from SCCM console. Earlier, if you remember, we used to have WSUS, Windows Server Update Services, but now we are going to deploy it through SCCM. All right. Then you have operating system deployment, again the major thing. How to deploy the operating system, how to upgrade the existing system, how to install the application during the installation of your operating system. So all these scenarios we are going to see. That is module 9. Then you have module 10, under which you can manage the endpoint protection also, defender, right? You can run the scan on all the systems from your SCCM console. No need to log in onto the system and no need to run the manual scans. You can run the scan from SCCM console, and that scan would be deployed onto your devices where you are going to have Windows Defender, right? Then you have compliance settings and profiles. You want to see, let's say you made a policy that you want to verify that if you deployed the Chrome into the laptop, for example, right? So that if the Chrome is installed, then the systems are going to be compliant, and if the Chrome is not installed onto the laptop, those systems are going to be non-compliant. You want to test, right? You have 10,000 devices, you want to check the compliance settings, whether what and all application you have deployed, if it is deployed, then in that case those systems are going to be compliant with our settings, with our deployments. But if something is not installed onto some of the devices, then those devices are going to be non-compliant. And if those devices are non-compliant, in that case we can do the auto remediation also, that as soon as as soon as our SCCM will find that yes, this system is non-compliant, then all will be module 11. Then you have module 12, MDM, Intunes, mobile device management. So from SCCM you can only manage the devices, your laptops, that's it. But nowadays companies are managing your computer, your mobiles also, right? Might be you have seen in your phone, if you are using any Outlook or Teams, you are not able to take the screenshot of Outlook and Teams, right? You cannot copy anything from Teams to your WhatsApp, right? So this is getting done through Intunes, mobile device management, MDM. So Intunes is also the same thing, but for Intunes it is a cloud based tool, guys. Okay, so in case of Intunes, no need to configure these servers. These servers are not needed. You have to just take the license,
So,
like it is kind of Office 365.
sir,
Yep.
I have a question.
Yes,
Is it
please.
possible to maintain the laptops from Intune?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Even I'll show
Then
you.
why we are still depending on this SCCM?
that is what I told. See, in case of Intunes, right, it
Mhm.
is slowly expanding now, right? Intunes is purely meant for the your cloud-based devices, or let's say your mobile phones.
Mhm.
Okay, but SCC, and even if you will compare SCCM and Intunes, Intunes is more expensive than SCCM. For
Oh,
SCCM, you have to just get a license for primary site. That's it, and it would be
mhm.
around 800 or 800 to $1,000.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But SCCM, it for Intunes, it totally depends on the number of licenses you are procuring from Microsoft,
Got it.
right? And what is the benefit if, let's say, you are talking about purely Intunes? So in case of Intunes, no need to set up these servers. No need to worry about all these things. You have to just procure the license. That's it. At the end, whatever the configuration, at the back end, whatever the configuration, whatever the hardware requirement, it is going to be managed by the Microsoft itself. You need not to worry about. You have to just log in onto your Intune portal, and you have to make sure company portal application should be available on your devices, and then you will start managing them. Got it? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Okay, so we will see how the enrollment can be done of the computers and all. Apart from that, this is not enough. Like, we have multiple things under Intunes also. So I'll be discussing it in our upcoming lectures, right? I am going to just prepare a whole module like this. We have created like this. I have created the module. So for Intunes also, I'm going to make the same modules, how we will be able to manage the devices, and same thing. Um, and one more thing, see, in case of SCCM, what is the dependency? The system should be the system should be available in your local network. If it is on your if it is on internet, then it will be difficult for us to manage the device. But Intunes doesn't matter, right? If the device is in your local network or not, then still you will be able to manage that device. Then still you will be able to deploy that policies to your devices. All right. So I'll prepare all the modules of Intunes as well, and then we will discuss it in our upcoming lectures. And then we have configuring power management and remote control. As I told, you will be able to take the systems on remote also, like for your help desk users, right? For desktop support engineers, right? So if they want to connect the systems on remote, no need to procure any third-party application. You can do it through SSM itself using remote control feature. You can manage the power management also of the laptops, right? So you have power management also, right, in your laptops. Power, see, power plan and all, right? So this all power plan can be managed by your console of all the laptops in your company. All right. Then you have maintenance, disaster recovery, DR, how to take the backups, and taking that backup, how we will be able to restore our backup. Let's say primary sites you have configured on this server, right? And this server goes down, or there is some hardware issue on this server. We are not able to, like, it is taking time to procure that hardware. It is taking time to get that hardware from the vendor. So in that case, what we can do? First of all, what we can do, we can start taking the backup of our primary site, so that if any point of time we need to restore it, or if, let's say, server will server is facing some issue, then in that case we can restore our backup at that time. Yes, we will be needing some downtime, but yes, we will be able to restore it back without any hassle. Okay, so we will talk about in this disaster recovery, and then the backups and all. Then the last but not the least is going to be the secondary site. All right, how to build the secondary site. Okay, how to deploy the policies to the secondary site. So all those things we will see in the module 15. So we will cover module 15 modules in this whole SCCM topic. All right. Then you have who should learn SCCM. See guys, if you are already working as a system administrator, right? And I'm damn sure like 90% of the organization are using SCCM nowadays. Okay. So in order to grow, in order to upgrade your skills, in order to upgrade your skills in IT, you can do this course. And it will give you a hike as well in your current package. Right? In Naukri itself, I have seen around 38,000 jobs are available within India of SCCM administrator. Okay, so you can see almost all big size and small size companies are implemented MECM. Less number of competitors, good vacancy, good salary. You can find jobs on multiple job portals as on Naukri, Indeed, LinkedIn, and it is the third largest selling product of Microsoft. Easy to learn, no coding or programming language needed. First of all, and as I told, Intune is growing, right? But still, it has the capability to be in the market for at least 10 more years. Right? After this, Intunes is implemented in the companies. Companies are implementing Intunes in their environment. So that is why we just made a combo of this these two courses. So that, because see, things are same. From here also, from SCCM also, you can deploy the applications. From Intunes also, you can deploy the applications. Things are same, but the consoles are got changed now. The implementations got changed. In this case, we have to rely on servers. We have to make sure that our server should be in the running state 24/7. But in case of Intunes, no need to worry about, because Microsoft is managing all the servers on the back end. And Microsoft is ensuring that the SLA of 99.9% service level agreement, right? So whenever you are going to opt the service, so Microsoft will give you the SLA of 99.9%. All right. Then if you have any query regarding this course, or if you want to ask something, you can write down your query to networking also. If let's say you want to ask something now, you can unmute yourself and you can discuss it.
So what is the course duration, sir, for
It
this
would
SCCM and
be,
Intune?
okay, so it would be around 60 hours you can take for now.
60 hours. So
Yes,
we are going to cover both SCCM and Intune completely, right?
completely end to end.
Is there any prerequisite for this course?
Just system administration knowledge, domain controller knowledge, and group policies knowledge. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Now, guys, let's talk about how we will configure our labs. Because see, as I told, in order to do the testing, right? First of all, these three servers are mandatory. Along with it, we will be needing the laptops also. The laptops also, where we will be able to see whether the deployment is getting done or not. So at least we will be needing 5 virtual machines to configure this lab. SCCM lab, not for Intunes. Intunes is totally a cloud-based managed tool. It is basically, you can say, software as a service. Okay. In case of SCCM, we will be needing 5 virtual machines at least. Rest choice is yours. You can deploy it depending upon the compute power you have in your laptop. You can create as many as you want. So 16 GB laptop at least with RAM, 16 GB RAM at least should be available in your laptop to perform this lab on your laptop. If more than that, then obviously it is good enough, right? But at least it should have 16 GB RAM if you want to configure these all things in your own laptop, right? If you don't have, then in that case, networking is also providing you the labs facilities where actually you can build your lab, first thing. Second, you can build this lab on Azure portal also. I will show you both the scenarios. So once we will start our configuration, so I'm going to show you the configuration on both, on your laptop also and on cloud also, on Azure also. Because on Azure we can have like 4 GB RAM in one server, right? And we will be able to deploy the application and we will be able to test the applications. So your laptop, if you have 16 GB RAM, then in that case you can go with your own laptop. No need to go for Azure or no need to go for even networking lab. Second, if you don't have such a configuration in your laptop, then in that case you can go with the networking labs, or you can configure this thing on Azure also. I would recommend, if you don't have this compute power in your laptop, then configure it on Azure. It will give you some idea of cloud also, Azure also. Just for your additional knowledge, right? You will be able to get that how to build the virtual machines, how to make the machines, how to make the communication of the machines in Azure, how to make the security groups, how to do the virtual net peering. So at least these concepts you will get to know in the Azure if you're going to configure these things on Azure portal, or even you can go with AWS also. I don't have any issue. Choice is yours, how you want to go.
And we will require a license for that, sir.
License for?
Azure. I mean, like, do we have to
Yes,
pay some?
exactly. So whenever you are going to sign up on Azure, then in that case, if let's say you have a credit card that you have not been ever used in order to create Azure account, right? You can use your credit card. In that case, you will get $200 for 1 month, right? So Microsoft is giving you two options. First one is free trial. Second one is pay as you go. For free trial, you have to get one credit card, a unique credit card that is not being used ever in the Azure portal. First thing. Second, if you want to go for pay as you go, then based on the services you are running, if you're running it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, so based on that only you have to pay to the Microsoft. But for
So
the
free
lab
trial is for
purpose,
1 month.
yeah, please go on. Yeah,
The free trial is for 1 month, no?
yeah, for 1 month, exactly. It would be for 1 month.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. And if let's say you don't have that credit card, in that case we can help you out as a networking team. We can help you out to get the sponsorship pass also. You have to pay a small amount, right? In that case you will get the Azure sponsor pass. In that case you will get $100 for 1 month. In that case, no credit card is needed, nothing is needed. You have to just pay a small amount to the team, and then you will be able to get the sponsor pass, and you will get $100. Let me show you the example. See, I do have a sponsor pass. Just a moment.
Like, what do you mean by $100 1 month? Like, I
Yeah,
didn't get this part.
let me show you just a second. Just a second. See, so this is the sponsored. This is the pass actually, which even I took, right? So if you want to see the subscription, you can see Azure Pass, Azure Pass sponsorship. In this, I will get $100 to use. See, let me show you my consumption. Check your balance. See, I got 100 US dollars and remaining is 97 right now. Used only 3 US dollars. So how we can use it efficiently? See, in case of SCCM, yes, we have to, we will not be able to delete the servers. As simple as that. As I told, for the time you are running the virtual machine, let's say you ran that virtual machine for 1 hour. So you need to pay the amount. It will be deducted from this 100 US dollars. This is free trial, right? In which you have to just get a pass. Networking team will give you that pass and you will be able to get it. You will be able to use that pass in your own lab and you can configure the labs over there. Even you can expand it also. If let's say you want to get for another 1 month, that is also possible. But if you don't want to go with this, then in that case, you need to have one credit card. And by using that credit card, you can have $200 in your account and you can use the Azure services. So basically, we have to create 5 virtual machines here. 3 would be your these machines and 2 would be your client machines. Over there, we can test the deployments. Got it, Karim?
Yes, got it. You can just, may I see from where you can see the license, like for Azure, like, can you just go back to that page of Azure?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to
sure.
see.
Hmm.
So you went to the home page, then where did you go after that to see how what's license?
Subscription. I went to subscription, and if in case you are going to have credit card, then in that case it would be free trial here. You will be able to see free trial subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in my case it is sponsorship because I took the pass as your pass.
All right, I have to check with them to see how much the pass cost from networking. Is it through you, or I'll have to check with them?
Yeah, you can let me know as well. Don't worry. If you want to procure it, I will help you out. Don't worry in that part.
Yeah, I just wanted to check the cost wise.
Cost would be a very small. It would be around 1400 something rupees INR, 1400
Okay,
INR. For
I
you, I
see.
think it
All
would
right.
be around $10 to $15, I believe. $15 to $20
Oh,
even.
okay.
Okay, yeah,
So I can use it
for 1 month.
for the duration of the for 1 month. Okay.
Yeah,
And if the course is more than that, then I'll have to uh,
you have to procure
is
one
it
more then in that case.
more? Okay. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is for lab, right? So choice is your either you can configure on your Azure portal on the AWS, or you can configure it on your own laptop. If you don't want to go for these two options, then you have the option to configure your labs on networking labs as well. But I would recommend to go for Azure so that you will get some concept on Azure. And even if you will get some interest in Azure, you can join Azure batch as well. Because see, future is cloud only now, right? Slowly companies are moving their infrastructure on cloud. Either it is Azure or it is AWS, right? So it can give you some idea that how it is getting done. And even I'll show you the VNet peering also. Let's say you have some data center in India, right, and one data center in US. So you want to make the connectivity of India and US. So how it will get done? So I will show you because see, in case of Azure, whenever you are going to have a free trial or a sponsor pass, we can have only 3 public IPs within a region. That is the dependency with the limitation, you can say, limitation with the free trial. Per region, we can have 3 public IPs only. Right? Pay as you go, there is no limitation. You can have as many as public IPs you want. But for free trial and then the sponsor pass, we can have only 3 public IPs. But as I told, in order to connect these machines, which we are going to build on Azure, right? These three are fine. Let's say I chose the region as East US. So region is basically the data center where actually the data center of Microsoft is available. I chose my location as East US. So in East US, I can only have 3 public IPs. Then how I will be able to take their systems on remote, which is which is in East US network, because they are not going to have public IPs. So in that case, we will configure these laptop into another region. For example, you can take example of Central India. Central India. So by default, these two regions will not be able to talk to each other. So if they will not talk each other, how I will be able to join these systems onto domain? Because this DC is in East US and the laptop is in Central India. So how it will be able to join the domain controller? How it will be able to join the domain? So in that case, what we will do the VNet peering of East US and Central India. After making the VNet peering, they will start talking to each other and we will be able to join this system onto our domain. And once the system is in the domain, then primary side server will fetch the information from the DC, and then we will be able to deploy the application through primary side server.
And laptops can't be in the same East US.
It can be in the East US, Kareem, but the thing is, we will not be able to take those systems on remote.
I
We
see,
will
I
not be
see.
able to
Okay,
take the RDP session.
I get you, I got you. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Even if you want, we have multiple things in Azure, right? We can configure the VPN services. Let's say you want to keep this laptop in East US only. That is also possible. We can keep this in East US, but this laptop will not going to have public IP. Then how we will be able to connect? In that case, we can do further configuration. Like you will configure Bastion server, right? You will configure either VPN configuration. Then you will be able to connect with private IP also. But that is very high level. For now, it is not needed for our SCCM. So we will learn all these things in the Azure module, and that how it works, how to configure your VPN and how to configure the Bastion servers. For now, it is not needed. So once we will touch up our Azure topic over there, I will explain that how it can be done, how it can be configured. All right. Yeah, so this is it for me for today. And next week onward from Saturday, we are going to start our classes, right? And initially, we are going to build the servers, right? We will gather all the prerequisite, right? Whatever the configurations files are needed, the ISOs are needed. You can configure either 2019 server or 2022 server, choice is yours. All right. Then we have to gather SQL ISO also, database ISO also, right? And then configuration manager version also 2303 also we have to download. So there are multiple prerequisites that you have to gather. Even let me show you, might be I will be having in my networking server. Hmm. See, let me check in my downloads. Storage WinSCP. No, I think I don't have it. Okay, so even after this, I'm going to help you out with the interviews also, that how you can prepare for the interviews. Like I have shown this PPT, this PDF file. So this is basically for interview questions only. It will going to help you out to, crack the interview if you are going for the SCCM administrator profile. Okay. Apart from that, I do have multiple documents, so I'll be sharing it with you time to time. Like earlier we used to do in MCSA, I used to create a classroom. Over there you will be able to get all the documents. Same way I'm going to upload for SCCM also. All right. Then I was talking about the prerequisite. Give me a moment. Either it would be available in other user. No, it is empty. Here it is. See, SQL server you need to get. You have to get SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, you have to get the configuration manager file, right? You have to get the ISOs, and then these are the applications like MSI application, EXE application that we are going to deploy. So these all things we are going to download from the internet first. We will keep it in our laptop, and then we will start deploying our primary site step by step. Okay. So I'm going to show you both on Hyper-V as well as on Azure. Right. So the same process is needed, right? So on Hyper-V also I will show you how to configure the lab, and then on Azure how to build the server, how to make the connectivity, how to get all the files, how to get internet, everything I'll be showing you on Azure portal if you want to configure your lab on Azure. And do let me know before Saturday so that I can arrange the pass for you guys, so that if you don't want to go with the credit card, you can just directly get the Azure pass and you can configure it, and you can configure your lab. Just before Saturday, do let me know, guys.
I
All
will
right.
start doing the credit card part like by next week, and once it's expired, then I will move to with you guys. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Okay. And I think Kareem, you have a good compute also, right? In MCS, you used to do these things in your own configuration.
Yes, I have good compute, but I just wanted to get the experience of.
Okay. Got it. No problem. Just do let me know
But
before
let's see.
Saturday. Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah.
Just ping me, right? I will let you know the process.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is it for today. Let's connect on Saturday and then we will start our configuration. So please be on time. So 11 o'clock IST, AM, 11 AM IST would be the timings, and the classes would be for at least 2 hours. Because as I told, the whole Intunes and SCCM is going to take at least 60 hours to perform all the things. Okay, and on next class, I will show you the modules that we will be covering in Intunes. It is like it is prepared, but it's kind of work it is in finalizing stage. So once it will finalized, I will show you in next class the topics we will be covering in Intunes. All right, so it is strictly based on the Microsoft, right? Whatever the Microsoft recommended for SCCM and Intunes, so we are going to follow the Microsoft path only. All right. Okay, so bye everyone. Thanks for joining the session. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Yeah, bye.